everyone, my name is Steph, this is the Novelty Corner and welcome to the start of another reading vlog. This is another one of my booktube friends picks my TBR, and this time around Bree from In Love and Words has chosen my TBR and I'm so very grateful to her. We have really been bonding recently over books, mostly weird, wacky, bonkers romance books, but we decided to exchange some recommendations and film some friends made us read it videos, and I'm really excited. I will leave Bree's channel linked down below, and I'm gonna just open this vlog and let you know the books that she has selected for me, and then we'll jump straight into the vlog footage. So she actually selected 4 books for me to read, and she doesn't know this, but I have added a 5th one onto it because I know that it is a favorite of hers, and I was honestly surprised when she didn't include it in the list because I haven't read it yet, and I'm not sure whether she knew that I had or I hadn't. And it's just whenever I hear the title of this book, I think of Bree, so I've thrown it onto the end. So the books that she recommended to me are The Quarry Master by Amanda Milo, which was already on my TBR on KU because I knew she'd read it, but she wants me to read it for this one, so I'm saving it. She also recommended Radiance by Grace Draven, which is a fantasy romance, which she knows that I haven't read, and she's mentioned a couple of times that she's wanted me to read it, so we've added this one to the TBR. Real by Kennedy Ryan, which I know is one of her favorites of this year. I have been meaning to pick it up for a long time. I just knew I had to be in the right headspace to do it because I knew it's quite an emotional read and it deals with a character who has a chronic illness. So I am very excited to read it because I've previously really enjoyed all of Kennedy Ryan's books that I've read. I know that I'm gonna have to just mentally prepare myself before I pick this one up. And she's also recommended Hearts in Darkness by Laura Kay, which is a contemporary romance where the protagonists meet in an elevator and they're stuck inside this elevator in pitch darkness, and they're there for a couple of hours. So it's a forced proximity story, and I know that the hero has some, I think, PTSD/anxiety, and the heroine helps him through that. And then the book that I'm adding on to this TBR that Bree doesn't know about is Archer's Voice by Mia Sheridan, because I just hear her talk about it all the time, and it's honestly been one of those books that I've been meaning to read. So I thought, what better way than to add it to this video, because it's one of the books that I associate with Bree. So I'm gonna jump into the vlog footage, and I hope that you enjoy it. Let's try this again. I've tried to film this 3 times and it's not worked for whatever reason. So I'm going to start with Hearts in Darkness by, is it Lauren Kay? Maybe. If I'm wrong, the book will be on the screen. And all I know about this is that the hero and heroine get trapped in an elevator together. That's all I know. That's all I want to know about it. We'll just have to see how it goes. I am 75% of the way through Hearts in Darkness. I'm just reading the whole thing because it just continues on. So we're just going to finish reading it. And I am really enjoying it. I took a quick break because it is movie night here, so I was watching a movie. But I am really enjoying it. So I'm hopefully about to come to the part where because they've had their 3rd act breakup. So hopefully they're about to get back together again. That would be really nice. So as I said at the start, it is about McKenna and Caden. They meet in an elevator when all the power goes out, and he has anxiety and PTSD related to an accident that he was in as a kid. And so he freaks out when the lights go out in the elevator. And they start talking, and he's comforted by her voice, and they, play games with 20 questions and whatnot, and they get to know each other in the dark. They have this sort of instant attraction. So it is very much a forced proximity, insta-love kind of thing, but in terms of the circumstances, you can kind of get it. And then they decide afterwards that they want to take this relationship further. So all of the sort of little short parts of the story follow that. And really the complication in their relationship comes down to Caden dealing with his trauma and the fact that his PTSD rears its head in a really bad way at a particularly important point in their relationship. So I'm going to get back to it and finish it and see how it all plays out. So I just finished Hearts in Darkness and it was great. I really enjoyed it. It was good fun. Emotional, but without being too emotional for those people who don't like books where you might start tearing up. I didn't get to that point, but I did really enjoy the story. So I think I'm going to put spoilers on the screen just because I want to give some keywords for this book. I think if you don't mind being spoiled for this stuff, then you'll enjoy it. If not, just skip ahead. I might even put a timestamp for when the spoilers end. So this book has a little bit of everything in it. So you have the meet cute in an elevator. You have the hero with PTSD dealing with trauma that spirals into depression in the story. And it happens at the time that McKenna finds out that she's pregnant. So she goes for a period of 4 months where she basically doesn't see Caden and she can't tell him that she's pregnant. And then there's another complication once they finally start talking again that sort of really jumpstarts Caden into realizing that he needs to own up to exactly what he wants and how much he loves this woman. And a lot of his reticence towards doing that initially has to do with his trauma from childhood. So you have a pregnancy, you have weddings, you have all sorts of things in this book. And it was really enjoyable, very easy to read, and just a lot of fun. So I'm glad that I started this reading vlog with that book. It is time to start a new book. It is a different day. In fact, it's a couple of days after the last clip. Not that you can tell because I'm still wearing the same cardigan because it's cold, and this is just what happened to be still left out to throw it over the top of my top. But I'm about to start Archer's Voice by Mia Sheridan. I don't know if I'm prepared for this book, but I've heard so many people talking about it in the last couple of days that I need to start it. So that's what we're going to do today. Alright, so I'm nearly 60% of the way through the book and I just realised I haven't stopped to update you. So this is the story of Bree, who moves to a small town called Pelion, and she's running away from something that happened to her. So this has content warnings for the death of a parent by shooting, and she is a survivor of attempted sexual assault. And so she's come to this small town, she's renting out a cabin, and then I think it's her first day in the town, she ends up crossing paths with this guy. She drops some of the things that she has just bought and he helps pick them up, and she's talking to him but he doesn't respond. He walks off afterwards, and so she asks around town, and it turns out that his name is Archer and that he doesn't talk to anyone, and the town mostly believes that he is simple or there's something wrong with his brain. But she is very intrigued by him, and so she eventually gets to know him and figures out that he has nothing wrong with his hearing. He can hear, he is mute, can't talk, but he can communicate, but he knows how to sign, and she does as well because her father was deaf. The two strike up a friendship and then a relationship, and it's just gorgeous. I would like to smack Travis upside the head. Travis is Archer's cousin, but yes, it's very, very sweet. And you know, Archer has spent most of his life basically separated from the town. He doesn't have friends, he's never had a girlfriend, and he is just loving everything with Bree. So I'm really enjoying it. So I just finished Archer's Voice, and that was a lovely story. And yes, there's very sad things that happen. That ending though, all the parts leading up to that ending. But I'm really glad that I read it. It's a really fun book, and I will definitely be checking out some of Mia Sheridan's other books in the future. So that one was fun. I loved it. Hi everyone. So it is now later in the week, and I'm about to start reading Radiance by Grace Draven, and I'm kind of nervous because I know this is a fantasy romance, and we all know my history with fantasy romance because it does not end well. Fingers crossed it does, and if it doesn't, Bree, please don't hate me because I'm really nervous. Okay, so I'm about 30% of the way through Radiance, and I'm actually really enjoying it, so I'm feeling slightly more optimistic about it. It's about the arranged marriage between a human and a Kai, and they're very different races, and traditionally they find the opposite race off-putting, to say the least. And it's a political arranged marriage between the hero and the heroine. It's kind of great because they meet unintentionally before they're supposed to meet at the wedding, and they have this really great chemistry and great banter, and the hero is the one to work out pretty quickly that she is the one that he's going to be marrying, and so they have this really awesome relationship. And they've just gone back to his home where she's going to live, and yeah, it's all overcoming different cultural customs and court intrigue, so I'm very intrigued. So I've just finished Radiance and I did really enjoy it. I was very pleasantly surprised. This one felt very much like a sci-fi set in a fantasy world, which is kind of strange, but it was also very slice of life. So we literally just follow Ildiko and Brishan as they navigate their marriage and settling into their new home, and they're constantly attacked by people who aren't happy with the marriage between a Gao human and one of the Kai. But they have an ally in the neighbouring sort of leader who borders their land, and I can't wait for his book. Like, this whole time when we get the setup for who his future partner will be, it's just like, I want that. I really do. I thoroughly enjoyed this. This was good fun. Hi guys. So I'm not quite in frame because I've literally stacked the camera up on top of books, and not just paperbacks, picture books on top of a stool on top of other things. Anyway, I thought what I would do for this vlog is include an unboxing of my most recent Eco Aromatherapy Ritual Box because it arrived. So if you're unfamiliar, this is a quarterly box that I pay for myself. I have received boxes from them in the past, but at the moment I'm currently subscribed myself, and every ritual box includes about 8 essential oils and some DIY projects and things like that. So this quarter it is the Rest Ritual, restoring rituals for a more balanced and healthy lifestyle. So there is a little recipe card. This one is for restoring bath soak. I don't have a bath, so I will be adapting recipes. All right, so inside the box, we have some fractionated coconut oil. I do now have a collection of these oils because I do like to make things. Quite often I make them as Christmas gifts. There is also an empty jar. I would imagine this is for creating the bath salts. There is some Naked Harvest chocolate moon milk. It is like a chocolate milk drink. Then we come to the essential oils. There are 4 this month. Some of them are in boxes, some of them are just loose. So there is marjoram, mandarin, dream drops, which is one of my favorites. Palmarosa, which I have not heard of before. That's okay, that'll be a fun one to try. There is lang lang, sleep, which is another favorite of mine. This one I even just put on during the day because it's so relaxing. There is a meditation blend. Might have to try that this weekend. There is Whole Leaf, and the last one is one of their Eco Littles, and this one is Peaceful. So that's everything that came in this quarter's Eco Modern Essentials box. Hi guys, so it's been a while since I've filmed part of this vlog. So for those of you who are just generally interested in how I've managed to spread this out, I read the first few books in this vlog prior to the Love in the Night readathon, and now this is the week after the Love in the Night readathon, and I'm about to start book 4 for this reading vlog, which is The Quarry Master by Amanda Milo, which Bree has talked a lot about. So I'm very, very eager. This one is on the longer side, so I'm hoping I can knock it out tonight. It's probably just like 6:30, just after 6:30. And I would really, really like to read it tonight. It was a choice between this or Real. The way that this week has gone, I'm not ready to do Real yet. So that might have to be next week's book. Yeah, fingers crossed I enjoy this. It is a monster romance, possibly sci-fi-y. It has a very grumpy boss. I have a feeling the heroine character might be a very sunshiny character, so I'm very, very eager to give it a shot and see how I enjoy it. Did I make more chocolate-covered strawberries to eat while reading? Yes. Yes, I did. They do look tasty. So I am 50% of the way into The Quarry Master, and it's very cute. It is a little bit slow only because of the way that the storytelling is happening. It is very slow burn, so it's really sort of this day-to-day banter build up between Bash and Isla, because Bash is the Quarry Master and he's very grumpy. He doesn't like the humans that have been foisted upon him because they are puny and they can't move the rocks that they need to move in the quarry. And then he meets Isla, and Isla is this kind of ray of sunshine who just constantly wants to get to know Bash and all about the quarry and all of these things. And she has one arm and she still does all of her work and finds ways to just get under Bash's skin. And so I've just hit the 50% mark and I'm just so tired that I think I need to put this down. It's very bantery, which I love, but there's also not a huge amount of action. It's just sort of this very slow build to their relationship. And I think I just need to take a break for now. So I'm going to pick this up tomorrow night and finish it off, and I'm looking forward to it. Hi guys, so I am back trying to read a little bit more of The Quarry Master, and I've got my icy pole and 40 minutes until Friday night movie night starts, so we'll see how much I get read. Okay, so I just finished The Quarry Master and it was very, very cute, but it is very slow burn. It takes a while for the couple to sort of become an actual couple, and it's because Bash has his own hang-ups and relationship things, but for all his grumpiness, he is very, very sweet. You know, he's annoyed at having humans working on his quarry site, and yet he's ultimately drawn to Isla, and it's just gorgeous. So I'm glad I finally finished it, and now I'm gonna go to bed. Hi guys, so I'm here to start the last book that Bree recommended to me, and that is Real by Kennedy Ryan. And I love Kennedy Ryan, but I know I always now have to build myself up to reading her books because it's going to be an emotional gut punch, but I'm going to start it on my lunch break. It is a Wednesday and it is technically a work day for me, but I am currently in the middle of some professional learning, and it's an all-day online PD, and it's really fascinating because it is part of my Literacy Master Trainer course, and we are being trained in planning for literacy professional learning for a school for 2022, and it's not something I've personally been involved in before at this sort of detail, and we're being trained how to design it for ourselves because in a couple of weeks we are going to be helping other schools in our local networks to do the same work. So it's really cool. It's a little bit meta because we are learning something at the same time as we're being trained to teach other people how to do it, but it's very, very cool. So this is my sort of course book that I'm working through at the moment, but I'm about to have a very Australian lunch of a meat pie because I decided to leave my apartment on lunch and stretch my legs. I'm going to find Reel on my Kindle. Everything's still set up and I won't be late because I've still got my meeting up there. Sorry for the fans in the background, but I just wanted to share my dinner. Hoisin pork tacos from every plate. So, yay! I have literally just had a shower, cooked dinner after I had a parent meeting at 6 o'clock tonight because we were doing an information night for parents, so I jumped in as someone on the leadership team. But I'm starving, so I want to eat, and then I have to clean the dishes, and then I'm going to keep reading Reel because I got about 10% in earlier in the day and I loved it, so I want to get back to that. Okay, dishes and everything are done, but before I jumped into doing some more reading, I wanted to show you some book mail that came today. So on the, oh my gosh, what date was it? This past weekend, so it's currently the 13th of October. This past weekend we had Love Your Bookshop Day on the weekend, which is basically a celebration of local bookstores. So I did purchase some picture books from a couple of different places. This is from the Little Book Room. I picked up 4 picture books from them. One called Awesome Emu by Greg Drace, which is an Aboriginal Dreamtime story. And I just realised I was looking in the back of the book. He has 4 other books in this series, so I will be checking those out. I haven't read the whole way through this one yet, but I will be doing that a little bit later on. I also picked up another Jane Godwin book. Jane Godwin is just an amazing writer. Again, I haven't read this one. I have read some of her other books, and I'm really looking forward to picking this one up because when she teams up with Anna Walker, they are just dynamite with their stories. This is a Philip Bunting book, or a Laura and Philip Bunting book. Well, as with the other two, I haven't read any of these, but I am pretty sure this is going to have the same droll sense of humour that all of Philip Bunting's books have, and I am here for it. And then my favourite one is Pig the Monster, because now it is ready for Halloween. So I wasn't sure if this was going to come on time because of shipping delays, but it's here. I will be reading through this very soon, and we will definitely be sharing it with the kids, especially when we're back on site. All right, so I'm a little over 30% of the way into Reel, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm just very tired tonight, so I'm going to actually leave it there. I'm going to read something fairly light before I go to bed, just because I know if I keep reading this, I'm going to get sucked in, and I want to give it the attention that this book deserves. So it is the story of Cannon, who is a documentarian who is filming a biopic for a black performer from the past who really never got recognition, and he's been searching for the actress to take on this role, and he stumbles across Neve, who is a Broadway performer, and she's the understudy for a main role, and she's suddenly at the forefront of this Broadway show that she's in, and she blows him away. And so he secretly auditions her for this main role. He doesn't tell her that that's what the role is. You know, she's perfect for the role. Meanwhile, we find out that Neve has a chronic illness and that she has ways of managing it that are working for her, but it's not something that she publicizes. Anyway, she gets this role, and I've just gotten to the point where she's just moved out to LA from New York to start the role, and she's just filmed the first scene, which happens to be a blackface scene, which was just, I don't even have the words to describe that. And her reaction to having to film that scene, and Cannon's reaction to that, is just true Kennedy Ryan. She writes these scenes so beautifully. And I'm really liking the storytelling style. So we're getting most of it as narrative, and then we're also getting the script of the biopic. So we've had a few of those scenes so far. So I'm really loving it. But I am going to pick up something lighter before I go to bed, just so I sleep well, and then I'm hopefully going to finish it tomorrow. Hi everyone, so I am about to continue reading Reel by Kennedy Ryan. It is the day after the last clip, and it's been a day. I honestly feel like I have completely lost my mind because things have just been going absolutely crazy with work and everything since the terms come back. And part of it is that a huge part of my, I suppose, coping mechanism are the friends that I have that don't live in the same time zone as me. And so like that avenue of being able to just say hi to all of my friends whenever I feel like it, because now I'm back at work, that's contributing to it because I don't have that outlet. Suffice to say, I miss talking to all of my US based friends. during, you know, normal hours as opposed to very late at night for me. And I need to wrap my head around what's going to be our new timetable. So I spent most of today on site. I had one meeting with the kids in the morning, and then because my students, so the foundation students who are kindergarten age, we are moving back into part-time on-site, part-time remote from next week. So I will have them on site on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday for the first time in 2 months. And then they'll be at home for 2 days and we'll be remote learning while another couple of grades are on site for Thursday, Friday. And then they're slowly building up everyone's return to school, hopefully by the 5th of November. That is the plan. We shall see how it goes. I'm excited to have the kids back. I went into school today so that we could, you know, set up the classroom and things like that. And of course, because everyone's there, I got nothing done. And I had a leadership meeting, which was important that we talked through a couple of things. But even that, like, there's just so much that needs to happen that just trying to juggle all of it is very overwhelming. If I am behaving strangely in any videos in the foreseeable future, that's probably why. Anyway, we're gonna get back into Reel. I really want to finish it tonight and I'm looking forward to starting it. I need to read. That's another big thing. My reading schedule, even though I'm still reading, it's not, for me, it's not been consistent in the way that I read. We're gonna get back on track. Okay, so I just finished Reel and I did get teary. It's a gorgeous book. Kennedy Ryan always just knocks it out of the park. So this is definitely one not to read when you're feeling emotionally fragile. Just putting it out there, because it does deal with a protagonist who is dealing with a chronic illness that flares up and gets pretty bad in the story. So if that's something that causes anxiety and things like that, be aware of it going into it. And also the other protagonist's mother had MS, and that forms sort of the underpinning of his character. But it was just beautifully written, and the way that Kennedy Ryan wove the storyline of the present day with the film that the characters are making was also just gorgeous. And you also get the family being drawn back together by the worst case scenario, and it was just really, really good. Highly worth reading, but just go into it prepared to have your heart stomped all over. Okay, so it is time to wrap up this vlog. This one is a little bit different to some of the other ones that I've been filming, because I actually filmed this over the course of about 3 weeks. So it's been both less intense and also a really sort of extended period of time in filming it. And I enjoyed it. I actually enjoyed just sort of dipping in and out of Bree's recommendations. So first of all, a huge thank you to Bree for the books that she recommended, because she did pick 4 for me and I added in an extra one. So of those 5 books, 3 were contemporary romance books, 1 was a fantasy romance and 1 was a sci-fi / monster romance book. And they all varied in length between about 290 pages and over 450. So there's quite a lot going on. In total, I read 1,872 pages for this vlog. I think what I'll do, which is a little bit different from what I do in these vlogs, where I would normally rank them in order of preference, I'm actually not going to do that with these books. What I will say though is that Reel was my favorite of all 5 books, just because of the absolute impact that that book has. And it's going to be one of those books that I think people can come back to time and time again and take something away from it. I had an absolute ball reading all of these. So just to recap, there was Reel by Kennedy Ryan, Archer's Voice by Mia Sheridan, Hearts in Darkness by Laura Kay, The Quarry Master by Amanda Milo, and Radiance by Grace Draven. All of them were just really, really great reads. So again, thank you Bree for picking books for me. And I hope that you enjoy some of the books that I picked for you. Most people don't ask me to pick books for them, and I feel really self-conscious doing that, especially picking romance books, because I feel like everyone else knows more than I do about them. Like, I'm constantly reading everyone else's recommendations, so I don't feel like I have anything new to share. Okay, so if you got this far into the vlog, thank you for sticking with me. I would love for you to let me know if you have read any of these books, or if you're planning on picking any of them up. We can always have a discussion about them in the comments. And if you want to let me know that you're here but you don't want to leave a worded comment, I would love for you to leave me any kind of film emoji. There's a whole stack of them that I know you can pick from. So have at it. I hope that wherever you are in the world, you're staying safe and healthy, and I'll see you in my next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye everyone.